All right, welcome to a Wind Down Wednesday. We'll wait. We'll wait a bit for everybody to join. We hope you guys are having a fabulous week. We've had a busy week. It's been extremely a scorcher here. I don't know where everyone else lives, but it has been awful here. I mean, awful. So, anyway.
And we're so glad you're here. Looking forward to some great content tonight. Please type your questions in the chat. I'll get to them as quickly as I can while Melissa presents our topic for tonight.
Well, our topic is financial abuse. And if you've ever been with a narcissist or in any type of abusive relationship, controlling relationship, you probably have experienced financial abuse. Because the main reason that at least narcissists use financial abuse as a weapon is because they can control their victim. I mean, what can you do without money? Seriously. So it starts out slow. It really does. I mean, when the relationship is new and everything seems perfect and you're falling in love with this fake person, of course, you don't know they're fake. Little by little, they start wanting to control it. And I know what mine said is, I'm really good at day trading. Why don't, I'm going to make money for both of us. So how about if we, you just provide X off of your line of credit, and then I'll go ahead and day trade for us. I'm thinking to myself, I don't think he's got a degree in finance or anything like that, or day trading. I don't know. And I said, well, how much money have you made day trading or whatever? And he goes, well, I'm kind of new. I'm just taking these courses or whatever. And I tell you, this was probably the one smart thing I did in that relationship, because I said no. I said, I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. Because he had no freaking idea what he was doing. I mean, he was so reckless with money. If I would have let him draw that equity line down on my house, oh my gosh, who knows what he would have done with the money. But that's how it starts. It starts little by little, and they act like they want to help you. They act like it's for your future. Of course, it has a lot to do with future faking. So it doesn't happen overnight. It's just little by little. One of the things they start with is not just wanting to all of a sudden combine assets, is monitor your spending. They're monitoring what you're spending, and you might have your own job, and you're like, well, why are you trying to tell me what to spend on? But that's how it starts. I mean, these little tiny chips that they're chipping away at, monitoring your spending. They start restricting your access to money. They want you to put your paycheck into their account. That's one of the big things don't do. I mean, I know there's many people that have done it, but putting your money into an account you don't have any access to is a sure way of them withholding that money from you.
Yeah. Hey, again, for those of you who are just joining, tonight's topic is financial abuse recovery, how to recover from financial abuse. So thank you so much for being here. Babe, got a great question. What if I don't have the money to leave?
Okay, well, that's a lot of the problem is people get trapped in these relationships, and their abuser starts gradually restricting them from money, because they know if you have money and it gets miserable enough, you're going to leave. So these are a couple things that you can do, because I don't know your specific situation. If you have access to a debit card, then my suggestion is to take little bits of cash out. Like go to the grocery store, buy the groceries, and then take a little bit of cash out and stash the money. You're going to have to stash this money, because obviously your narc can't know about it. So little bits of money, putting it aside. If they only give you a credit card, you're not going to be able to take cash out on a credit card without them knowing. But you can purchase gift cards at the grocery store. Hopefully they're not asking you for the itemized receipt, it just depends on how crazy they are. But we've had some of our clients be able to buy like, $20 gift card. Gift cards spend the same as cash. I mean, if you got a Visa gift card, American Express gift card, and you start hiding them away and accumulating them, they don't expire. They do have some fees with it, but it's like, hey, if $4.95 fee equals your freedom, then I don't think you'd have a problem with it. Another thing that they suggest is there anything that you can sell? Is there anything? Because, Facebook has Marketplace, just anything that might be worth something that you could sell and just stockpile the money. It's very, very difficult when you have absolutely no control over it. If your family sends birthday gifts, ask for them to send gift cards or money, and then stash that aside. It's a tedious process. You have to be all in. You have to be all in to create this emergency fund, because it doesn't happen overnight. And you're just going to have to do these little, you just put a goal in mind. What is it going to take for you to get out, for you to leave? And that is your shining star. That goal right there is your freedom. So however you need to do it, whether it's taking cash out when you go to the grocery store, whether it's buying gift cards while you're at the grocery store and like I said, stockpiling them, if it's saving the kids money out of their birthday cards, selling things, there's so many different ways, but it takes determination. It takes your want to get out, and it might take you a while, but oh my gosh, it's worth it. It is worth it.
Okay. I've got a question here from Monica. And again, what we're talking about tonight is financial abuse recovery. How do we recover from the financial abuse? But also we want to get to some of these other questions as well. And we've got some great steps to talk to you about tonight as far as rebuilding your credit, freezing your credit so they can't open up credit cards in your name, things like that. So we'll be touching on a lot of those tonight. But we've got a really interesting question here, babe, from Monica. Please answer my question. It's my house. He won't leave. Should I? No. I have to pay for everything still. She said, should I leave? And
are they married?
Yeah. Monica, could you tell us, are you married? And I think it's her house. It sounds like it's my house. Yeah. So, give us a little bit more information on that, Monica, if you would.
Married, 2 kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Married, 2 kids. Okay. I was married to mine, and it was my house. And you can't just force them to leave. Now, if they're violent, you can. But you have to call the police, and you have to file a protective order, which is what I had to do because mine would not leave either. When I finally was brave enough to ask for the divorce, he told me to leave. He said, pack your bags and get out of my own house. So I was not going to do that. I said, you know what? Because I didn't know what he was going to do. I knew if I packed my bags and left. Now, if he's violent, your safety is always a priority. That is, call the authorities, call domestic violence hotline. Nothing's worth your safety and your security. Mine wasn't to that extreme, but I knew if I left, he would change the locks. He would literally lock me out of my own house. So I knew I could not do that. Even if I had to move in the basement in another bedroom, avoid any contact with them. Obviously, you need a divorce attorney, one that understands narcissism. So I suggest that you go to Rebecca Zung's website, Rebecca Zung, Z-U-N-G. She's got tons of free legal content, and she does have a worksheet that you can fill out. Basically, it's your interview worksheet on talking to attorneys to make sure they understand narcissism. Because if they don't, they can drag you through court. They're so conniving and they're so believable to the court that you're going to have an attorney that understands this type of behavior, because a normal person doesn't. They don't understand that. And when a narc sits there and just flat out lies to the court so calmly, and you're all upset, you almost look like the crazy person. So you've got to have somebody that understands narcissism that's in your corner. But unless he's violent, I wouldn't leave that house. And if he does pose a threat to you, call the police. Call the police, file a protective order. They will remove him from your house. And depending on what state you live in our state, we couldn't have any contact with each other for like 7 weeks. I mean, it was like no contact, or I could be arrested too until his hearing. So they make it mandatory that there is absolutely no contact between you, not indirectly, directly, nothing. So if he's not violent, then you're going to have to get an attorney and you're going to have to file for the divorce, even if they have to serve him there. Just make sure, and I this is going to be kind of crude, make sure you don't have any relations with him, because mine actually lied about it, tried to dismiss our divorce because he said we had reconsummated our marriage, which was a lie. We had not, but we were under the same roof. So even if you have to record yourself, lock in your bedroom, get a recording of him going into another room, of you basically saying, okay, I'm going to my room, I'm locking my door, here I am locking my door, and you're filming it. Whatever you have to do to provide the court with things that will protect you, nothing is overboard. There's this device called Tape-A-Call. Go to Apple, download it, Tape-A-Call. You can actually record. The recording is not so much to use against him in court. It's to protect you from his lies. And that's what I did. I mean, I literally clicked it when I walked in the house, taped it, whatever he said to me, I taped it, because it was a way for me to be able to defend myself against his accusations that, hey, we're a happy married couple, and she's taking antidepressants and doesn't remember anything. So I was able to prove myself because of these recordings, because you can't put anything past them. They will do anything. Mm-hmm. They don't have a conscience. So, and they don't fear the law either. So hopefully you're not with someone that's violent, but if you are, call the authorities.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about a couple other things that it's really, really important that we do if we're dealing with a narcissistic abusive relationship. As far as our credit is concerned, it's really, really important that our credit is frozen. All 3 repositories, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's very easy to do, but just freeze them so that no new credit could be opened in your name. That's a really important thing. We did some videos a couple weeks back on our TikTok channel, and one of them was talking about financial abuse, and someone had opened up an account in my name, my ex-narc, and went out and bought all this furniture. And I didn't know about it until after the divorce, when she stopped making the minimum payments, and all of a sudden we have, I have tens of thousands of dollars worth of furniture on credits that I didn't even know I had. So
and she took the furniture
and took the furniture when she left. So I didn't realize that I had bought it all. But there's so many things that you need to do to protect yourself. And one thing I want to mention to all of you, YouTube allows us to do a lot longer videos. If you'll go to our YouTube channel, V2W or Victim to Warrior, you can find us either way. Or just go to our link tree on our TikTok page and click YouTube. We've got some great tools. I know a lot of you are asking questions about certain things, and we can't really get into those on this call, but about budgeting and about emergency funds and all of those other things that take a while to explain. And Melissa, who is a 40-year veteran of the financial services industry, really helps guide you on how to do those things. So please do that. Let me check back here to see if you have any questions.
One of the questions is, does it cost anything to get a copy of your credit report and put a freeze on your credit? No, it's free. You can go to freecreditreport.com, or you can download Credit Karma. The one thing about Credit Karma is not only will they give you a copy of your credit report, they at least have 2 of the repositories that report credit scores. You can also dispute things there. No. Sorry, our dog's barking. But you get to have 1 free credit report a year. And you're going to have to answer a lot of security questions so they know you are the one that this credit belongs to. But once you get a copy of your credit report, they're a little confusing to look at. I mean, I've been in the finance industry forever, so they're like second nature to me. But if you've never seen one, it is a little challenging to look at what you're seeing, because it'll have payment history. It's got the creditor, who they report to. The thing that I would do is when you get a copy of your credit report, freecreditreport.com or Credit Karma, when you get that credit report, go through every single debt that's on there. Make sure that it's your debts. If you see something on here you didn't take out, you did not put that in your name, you don't know anything about it, it could be a collection account, it could be a new credit card, you have no clue, you can dispute that. If you didn't open that, you didn't authorize that, they're not an authorized user, you can absolutely dispute that information, and they have to take it off your credit file. And getting the information, like John said, we do have a YouTube video on our YouTube channel, V2W, Victim 2 Warrior. We talk about freezing your credit. We actually give you the website. We also give you the downloadable forms to dispute anything that is not yours. And you have to dispute them with the 3 repositories, because you never know who that creditor reports to or who they could possibly sell their company to and who that creditor reports to. So you want to make sure your freeze is on all 3 repositories. And if you're going to dispute a debt that's not yours, you dispute it on all 3 repositories. Now, you can also put what's known as a credit freeze on your account. All 3 repositories, because anybody trying to open credit in your name, it's going to block them. It won't give them access to your credit profile. It won't give them access to your credit score. So the company that's trying to check your credit to see if you're credit worthy to open this account, when could be your narc's trying to open it, your credit's blocked. So they don't have any choice but to deny it. So they will deny it. They'll send a denial letter to your house. So you ought to save it, because that is evidence that somebody's trying to open credit in your name. But if your credit is frozen, they cannot open credit in your name. If you want to get credit, you will have to unfreeze your credit, but you can do it for a time frame. So let's say you need a credit card, or you're going to move into another apartment and they need to check your credit. Let them know your credit is frozen, and let them know that you're going to unfreeze it for like 48 hours. It's just a window where they can check your credit, and then you can freeze your credit again. So you are not prohibited from getting credit in your name when you want to. My credit has been frozen for 9 years. And I'm telling you, 9 years later, I still get mail that tells me I've been denied for credit that I never applied for. So he's still trying all these years later to open up credit in my name. That's the reason I will not unfreeze my credit unless I need a loan. And it's really a shame, because literally I get turned down notices from companies and banks, commercial places. I don't even know who they are. I never applied for credit. So I always report him. I just can't prove he's the one doing it. But honestly, he's the only one that has all my financial information, so I don't know anyone else who would, but you can't let your guard down.
I've got a
can't ever.
Question here. What if you ruined all my credit and I can't buy anything because of that? Well, to answer your question, we just can't do it here on this live because there's a lot to it. And because of all these questions that we get, we are right in the middle of producing a TikTok series that'll be 5 videos that'll be at 5 and more minutes per. So it's about 30 minutes of total financial information on how to rebuild your credit, how to repair your credit, how to create a budget, how to start saving again. It's all about how to rebuild your life after the devastation that a narcissistic abusive relationship can cause. So it's almost impossible to do that on these lives. We just have to kind of answer questions like this. So we wanted to put together this series for you, and it's going to be launching in the 1st of September. First week of September-ish we're in the middle of shooting the videos right now. So if we can't get to your questions tonight, we can't go through all that detail, please know that we're going to be launching this series, and we'll keep you posted on these lives and also on our TikTok channel. But in the meantime, if you need more information, like I said, please go to our YouTube channel. We've got some longer videos, 10, 15-minute videos that really help you with budgeting, repairing credit, how to dispute things that have been on your credit that he caused or she caused that you can try to dispute and get removed to help rebuild your credit. But also some other tips from Melissa on how to increase credit scores and, again, how to budget, how to save money, all of the important things. She has spoken in front of tens of thousands of people in empowerment programs on how to do this. So she's an expert on that. So we're really excited about launching this series in just a couple of weeks. So if you can hang tight for that, we'd really appreciate it. And it'll be very, very helpful for you as well.
Definitely. And there is a way to rebuild your credit. I know sometimes when I talk to people, they're like, it's so ruined. I don't even know what to do. Filing theft charges against your narc, you may have to do that. I know that it's difficult and you're like, gosh, I really don't want to kick that hornet's nest, but it's going to stop you from moving forward. So when you get a copy of your credit report and you look at it and you know for a fact this was fraudulently opened, you're going to dispute it. That dispute goes to the creditor. The creditor has to prove you opened the account. So it's almost like a reverse from our court system. They have to prove you opened the account, and they only have 30 days to do it. So if they can't prove that you're the one that opened that debt, they have to remove it from your credit. But it literally is going through line by line by line. Now, in the case of me, I put him as an authorized user on some of my credit cards, because he was opening up a new business. He of course, they always lie. He made up excuses that his business was had a lot of liabilities to it. Therefore, he really didn't want to put things in his personal name. I mean, all these red flags now make sense, but back then they didn't seem to sink in. So I put him as an authorized user. And when we were going through the divorce, I canceled him as an authorized user on all the cards I remembered. One card I paid off. I didn't owe anything on it. And lo and behold, he wrecked a vehicle in my name because I couldn't get the car back because we weren't divorced yet. And, a court needed to decide that. But he wrecked the vehicle, $10,000 worth of damage, took it to an auto shop, filed an insurance claim, then had the insurance company do a stop payment on that check. And the person, of course, the repair shop didn't know there was a stop payment, so they released the car to him. And then 3 or 4 days later, that check bounced. Well, he ended up taking the credit card that he was an authorized user on, okay? Now, he had the insurance company reissue the insurance check in both of ours' name. Now, we weren't living together. I worked, this is before COVID. This is why you got to change your address to a P.O. box. So I wasn't monitoring my mail every single day. Well, that check came into the mailbox. He got it out of the mailbox, forged my name to it, deposited it into his account, and then went to the repair shop and said, oh, that stop payment was a mistake. Here's a credit card. So he charged the $10,000 on my credit card, and he cashed the check to the insurance company and put it in his account. So,
double whammy.
Double whammy. I had to file charges against him. You just have to file charges, because there's no other way for you to prove that you did not do it. So I had to file insurance charges against insurance fraud charges. I had to file credit fraud charges against him. And all this came out in the divorce, but it was very stressful. So authorized users, get them off, cancel them. You don't have to have a court, if you're going through a divorce, tell you that's okay, because it's your account. It's not a joint account. When it's a joint account, you can't kick somebody off before you're divorced. You can't boot them off a bank account. All of that is within the court's jurisdiction. But if it's your credit card and you granted them access to it, or you just handed them the credit card, you can absolutely get them off of that. You can cancel the authorized user. You can actually report the card stolen, but have the new card mailed to somebody else's house, mailed to your job, open up a P.O. box. Now, when I say P.O. box, go to the UPS place, because it's a street address, even though it's a little box, because sometimes financial information, they won't send it to a PO box. But if you open up a box at a UPS or a FedEx, it actually has a street address and then a suite number. So you can actually get your new debit card or whatever, or credit card sent to that private location, and they won't have access to it. They're very sneaky. I mean, I learned a lot of things through trial and error.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, if you haven't yet, would you please like this live? We'd really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this live event because it's been so helpful to people. And also, I believe you can double tap your screen and it shares the live with other people. We're trying to really spread awareness and really help folks. And again, I just want to reiterate that Melissa is a 40-year veteran in financial services, so she is the best to hold your hand or to give you advice through this process on really rebuilding your credit, rebuilding your assets and your finances, and all those things. So please schedule a call with her. You can go to our link tree on our TikTok channel. And if you're not following us, please do. We've got new videos coming out every day, but please follow us on TikTok. And then when you go to our profile, click the link, and then you can schedule a call with her. One other thing too, I'd also like to mention, we have a phenomenal Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group. It's anonymous, and we only let certain people in. And then you can ask a lot of questions there too, and you have a lot of great support, because you know how it is when you try to talk to your friends and family about this. They just don't understand, they don't get it, and so it's always nice to be involved with the support group. And our Facebook group is phenomenal. It's Victim to Warrior Method, and so go to Facebook, go there, and Melissa will give you access into it. But it's really a great group of folks, and talk about great support to help you through this.
Well, and we also post upcoming events because the Facebook group gets, first dibs at it, and of course discounts and things like that. So I'd love to have you in there, and we do post a lot of things. And like John said, it's anonymous. You can either use your real name or you don't have to. And it's a place to let you just either ask questions, unload, because you're in a community that understands exactly what you've gone through or what you are going through. I did see a question on here about what if your narc's recording you? Mine was notorious for putting his camera in my face. And this was when I would just be losing my mind. I mean, he would have done something horrible, and I would be like, you can't wrap your head around the things a narcissist does. You think they're insane. You think they're having a mental breakdown. You really don't know how to deal with it. I didn't even know what a narcissist was back then. But he used to put that camera in my face, and I'll tell you, I literally wanted to slap it out of his hands. You have to take a step back. You've got to breathe, and you've got to realize I'm being filmed. So you have to be the bigger person. You're the one that has to go gray rock on them, or lock yourself in the bathroom, or walk away. Don't do what I did and literally smack the camera out of his hand and want to stomp on the camera. Okay, that did not help me. So you've got to just breathe, count to 10, know that you're on camera, know that they're going to use it against you, and lock yourself in a room. Go outside. Make sure you take your keys with you because they'll lock you out of the house. Go to a friend's house. Do something that gets you out of that immediate situation, because they know how to push your buttons. They know what to say. They know how to hit below the belt. And as a normal person, hitting below the belt, pouring salt into wounds, you are going to react. It's normal. But just know that they're trying to use this against you. Everything they do is for their own good. So when they know you're pulling away, they absolutely will do anything to destroy you, destroy your reputation. So you just got to be thinking on your toes. Don't lose your cool, even if you have to count to 1 million. Just walk away. And you know what? When they're filming the back of your head, it doesn't have as much punch as when you're not, screaming and yelling to get the camera out of your face. So you gotta like I said, just take that breath and breathe. And somebody asked a question about how much does it cost?
She's talking about the phone calls, and
okay.
So I did reply to her, and also if it doesn't fit into the budget, they're very for her time. It's very, very inexpensive.
We try to make it to where
we try to make it so it's affordable. But we also have a free masterclass. It doesn't go into as much detail in the financial because you really need the hand holding on that. But we also have an ebook that we just published about a month ago. That you can find in our resources too. So we've got tons of resources. One other thing I really wanted to talk to you about. We have a newsletter coming out on Saturday. If you haven't signed up for our newsletters, we only send them once a week, so we're not spammy that way. Just once a week, and it's great. It's chock full of great information. So please go and subscribe to our emails. Our newsletters, excuse me. And this Saturday's newsletter is all about financial abuse and how to protect yourself against it. So it's going to give some great information too. But again, our YouTube channel is chock full of great videos about financial abuse and how to recover. So when you go to our YouTube channel, please be sure to subscribe. We just shot a brand new video today on the recovery steps, not of financial abuse, but just recovering from this abuse. And that'll be going up on Friday too. So I'd love for you all to see that. It's a longer video, but we really cover those important steps on when you first get out of that relationship and the steps you need to take to recover. So please sign up for those newsletters.
One of the things that I want to tell you, if you're still in the relationship and you want to leave, try to get copies of as many financial documents as you can. I've talked to a lot of my clients because narcs will hide assets. They literally will open up accounts, not in your name. They will hide them from you. So it's difficult, but it's one of those things. The more information you can write down and make sure you keep this safe. You've got to keep it safe, even if you only know the bank. If the bank records are subpoenaed, it's on their social security number. But I know one of my clients said she knows she saw bank statements coming in from a bank they don't bank with, but he would grab it, go to his office, lock the office door. So she really never knew what these bank accounts were. And he would say, well, it's my business account or whatever. And so she wrote them down. She wrote the bank name down. And in discovery, they subpoenaed those records, and he had 5 hidden accounts from her, 5 at the bank where he was taking her paycheck, she was auto depositing it, and he was moving that money into his own bank account. He was doing all kind of crazy things with that money. And she had no idea because he was giving her like this allowance, and she was barely getting by on the allowance, thinking that he was putting money into a joint savings account for their future, and he was actually just taking her money and putting it into his individual accounts. Of course, he got in a lot of trouble for that, but you can't stop them from spending the money if you don't know where it's going. One of the things I strongly suggest, and this is if you're with somebody that is not violent, okay, that's the key. If you are working and your paycheck is going into a joint account and you're worried about the person that you're with, call your employer and switch it. Open up your own account, okay, at another bank. Open up your own account at another bank. Have your paycheck switched into that account, and then talk to your narc about, okay, I want control of my money. I have no problem contributing to the household bills, but we're going to sit down together. We're going to write them out. We're going to do a budget, and I'll write you a check for my share of the bills. At least you have control of your money. If you're letting your paycheck go into what you think is a joint account, but you don't have the password to online banking, you don't have a debit card to that account, you don't have a checking account to that checkbook to that account, chances are you're not on that account. You're putting your money into an account that your narc owns. And therefore, until you get divorced, you just can't go to the bank and say, hey man, my paycheck's going to that account. I need to get some of this money out. You're not on it. They won't give you your money. So the only thing you can do is open up your own account, and they're going to be mad. They're going to be ticked off. Honestly, the madder they get, the more concerned you should be about what they're doing with your money. So if you just move your paycheck into your own account and agree to pay whatever the share of your bills are, you at least have an emergency fund right there.
Yeah.
That they can't take away from you.
Right. We just did this video last week. It's on our TikTok channel. So please, if you're not following us there yet, please go to our TikTok channel. It's V2W.
YouTube.
I'm sorry. No, but I know, but this is TikTok. We just did this video on TikTok last week about this very thing. And we talked a lot about different financial abuse on our TikTok channel also. We're able to do lots of videos there. So we do one every single day. But please go and follow us there. We have new videos coming out every single day. So we really covered what Melissa was just talking about. So please go there, follow us there, and see some of those videos because they're so helpful. They really, really are. We try to do skits that reenact certain situations where maybe I'm the narcissist and showing how that works, and vice versa with Melissa being the female narc and doing that, so you can kind of see the red flags and see these things materialize, and then we give you information on how to handle them. If these things are happening in your household, this is how to handle them. So please follow us on TikTok.
Well, and a lot of things are you're being gaslit, and so you may not realize, or you may think something's off. You may think, you know what, something doesn't feel right. My gut's telling me something's not right. Looking at these videos, looking at the red flags, when somebody has one or two red flags, I mean, hey, we're not perfect. I mean, we all got our flaws. But when they start adding up, that is a concern, especially if you try to have normal conversations. Like in the case of money, if you sat down with a narc and said, you know what, I feel left out of the financial decisions here. It's making me uncomfortable. I would really appreciate if we could sit down and go through, our debts, our liability, our assets, and just kind of sit down. So I know, in case something happened to you, I'm not in the dark. If they tell you it's none of your business, if they get defensive on you, if they tell you, oh yeah, we'll do it, but it never happens there, you need to be concerned. That's when you need to start trying to find out on your own what accounts are where, because they are notorious for hiding assets. So collecting documentation and put it in a safe place, even if you have to mail it to your parents or mail it to your best friend, somebody that you trust, if you have to send those documents to them, just in case, because you might need them.
Hey, let me just for a couple minutes, because it seems like we've been talking a lot about what will happen to, or what women should be doing. This is for men and women. Please believe me, both, because it can happen either way. Narcissistic females can also try to control assets, but even worse is they abuse assets, or they take assets, or they abuse your credit. And that's why I think it's so important to freeze your credit reports if you are involved with a narcissist that is opening up credit in your name, or maybe. We did a video on this just a couple of weeks ago. If things start showing up in your home, a bunch of clothes, a new car, a bunch of furniture, and the person may not have the wherewithal to buy those things on their own, guess what? They've opened up a credit card in your name at a furniture store, or they've bought a car in your name, or a bunch of clothes at a department store. So be sure, and I don't want to say especially men, but if you're the breadwinner and you have good credit and you're in a relationship with a narcissist, make sure to protect yourself and protect your assets. So I think freezing credit is one of the most important things that you should do if you have not. So just wanted to throw that out there. I know we talked about it earlier, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows how to do that.
Well, and I see someone saying, 20 years, I feel dumb. Don't feel dumb. I mean, you were with that person because you fell in love with them. You fell in love with the person they portrayed to be, because if they showed you who they really were, you would never fall in love with them. That's why narcs always are the knight in shining armor until you take the mask off, and then they're this demon. But they don't show that until after you are fully committed. So please, oh my gosh, we have all been there, because we fell in love with the person we thought they were. That was the fake person. And that's why it's difficult to leave a narcissist. because you're in denial. I mean, you're like, no, this is not the person that I fell in love with. This is the person I fell in love with. I don't know where that person is, but something's wrong. They're going through a mental breakdown. They'll always make an excuse for it, or sometimes they don't even. They're just evil, and they'll just be evil. And they basically say you're just going to have to put up with it. And you're wondering where that person that you fell in love went. They were never that person, ever that person. That was completely solely to trick you. And a normal person doesn't understand that. How could you? How could you possibly understand? They go through such efforts to cause delusion and manipulation and toxic comments that end up attacking you later on in life, because you have no idea that all this love bombing, all this, just sweeping you off your feet is not real. It's really an evil trait, because you don't see it coming. You don't see it coming, and you trust this person. If you guys knew how much money I lost trusting him, I invested in his crazy businesses because I believed in him. I believed he could make this successful. I totally believed his lies. Oh my God. I can't even tell you how much money.
And trust me, guys.
I mean, I'm probably going to have to work till I'm 80
Melissa
to make up for this money.
is a brilliant woman. And if Melissa could be manipulated that way, any of us could.
When you love someone, when you're married to them, you're like, I'm in, man, sure.
So don't beat yourself up about it. Just learn from it. Yep. And if you're still in the relationship, know what you're dealing with now. You're not dealing with the person that you thought you were in love with, or married or were with at the beginning. They're not that person, and they're trying to take.
They're basically your enemy.
Yeah. So please. Just know what you have now and make the right decisions to protect yourself. Opening up the other account like Melissa was talking about, creating an emergency fund, protecting your credit, doing all the things that we talk about and we'll be talking about completely in the upcoming financial series. So we really want to go into detail on that. So, but please don't beat yourself up. You can't, because all of us have been there.
No one has that crystal ball. No one has 2020. I mean, and if people tell you, oh, I knew, I could see right through it. It's like, well, why didn't you warn me? When people say that to me, it really makes me mad, because I'm like, really? You invited us to dinner. You invited us to your house. If you saw right through it, why'd you invite us? If he was such a terrible person and you knew it, then why were you going out to dinner with us? Because they'll trick anybody. So it's really the worst thing somebody could tell you is, I saw that. It didn't seem right to me, because then you wonder, why were they nice to him? It's one thing to not say anything to you. It's another thing to be nice and sweet and whatever. So don't even take those as insults, because
just learn from it.
Yeah.
And please, you're saying, we're all talking about how it's going to take so many years to recover from this. Just learn from it, move on, and build your life, the life that you want and have always dreamed of. Just build it. You can do it. And
it may take you a while, but guess what? As long as you stay stuck, you're stuck. And I look at this as being stuck in quicksand. If you don't let it go or make a decision that you're going to break free, and if you do make that decision, then you most certainly have to create an emergency fund for yourself. And it may take you a while. You just have to be determined that you want your freedom. You want your freedom. And you've got to reach into your support network, because I'm sure a lot of people burn their support network because the narc isolates you. They keep you from your family and friends. You feel it's easier to just not aggravate the narc. So you just comply. And that's what they want. They want you isolated, because they don't want you having a support network. They don't want you having anybody to turn to. They want you completely alone under their power. So it might take you some time to just, hey, I've got to call this person. They were always there for me. I need to make a plan with this person. I need to, but you got to stick to it, because if you've told other people, I need to go, I want to leave, I'm going to do it, and they've kind of supported you, but then you haven't, it's going to take them a while to believe you. So you have to come to terms with the fact that you want out, and you're ready to go. And then you stick to your plan. You put a date in mind, you put a dollar amount that you know it's going to take to leave. You let your loved ones know, because it may take some action on your part for them to believe you again. Or they may just open their arms and say, thank God, thank God you're back and that you can actually see what's happening here. Don't discount your support network that was always there for you, even if you haven't talked to them in a while, even if you think you ditched them and it's been months or years. True friends and family members who love you will always love you. And so don't dismiss them as, it's been too long. Yeah. Reach out to them, because you may need them.
And you will need them, because once you leave, that's when it gets really bad. That's when the war starts, because now they know that they've lost you.
Yeah.
They're going to start the smear campaign.
Or the love bombing.
It's going to be really, really tough.
And you're going to be very vulnerable, and you're going to be very hurt, and you're going to be very afraid. And so that's when you need your support network.
Right. And we just did a video today for YouTube. Because it was so long, we had to put it on YouTube. But it's the 5 most critical steps to take when you leave, to really build resiliency. That's what it's really titled about, is the 5 strategies to build resiliency when you leave. Because like Melissa said, that's when you're most vulnerable. So you have to be strong. You have to go no contact. You have to have a good support group of people around you that you could trust and that love you and will support you through that. And so we gave those 5 steps. So please go to our YouTube channel after this live and subscribe. That video will be up Friday afternoon, and we can't wait for you to see it.
Yes, please. And I know what it means to have no friends, especially if you've moved to an area, like you moved to where he was from or whatever. I mean, I have clients that moved to another country. And it's very scary. That's what the support network is. Join the Facebook group, Victim to Warrior Method. It's in our bio, in our link tree. You need people around you that understand where you're going. Even if you don't know them like personally, you will get to know them. And they will be basically your friends. And they will help you get that self-esteem back, get that self-confidence back. And then it slowly but surely, and it is hard to meet friends as an adult. It is. Joining groups at the church, I don't, that's something religious, depending on what your religion is. I know both John and I, we didn't even know each other at this point, but we had a singles group at our church, and you would just go one evening and listen to music and talk. And it wasn't a hookup place. It was a place to meet others that were going through kind of the same thing. Mm-hmm. So you just didn't feel so alone. It was like every Wednesday, you could go somewhere and have dinner with a group of people and listen to some music, hear some worship, or whatever. And slowly but surely, you'll get your confidence back. Because, I wasn't going to go to bars and meet people. There's no way. I'm like, are you kidding?
I think there's still the website Meetup where you can put in the types of activities that you like, hobbies and things like that. Mm-hmm. And that's something else we've talked about in this 5 strategies of resiliency. Is one of those is to find your passion again, because we all know that when we're in these narcissistic abusive relationships, we lose our passion. We forget what we loved to do. Melissa recently, a couple years ago, found painting again. She loves to paint. She'll go down in her studio and she'll be gone for days. Literally. And she just loves that so much. I find what you are passionate about and reinvent yourself into that. I shouldn't say reinvent, but reinvigorate yourself with that. I was really big into martial arts before. I got back into it. I love it. And I'm in the gym all the time. I love those types of things. And so find what you're passionate about, or what we were passionate about, and get back involved in that, and rekindle that passion in your life.
And honestly, your narc's job in their mind is to make you feel like crap. So that comment about no one else is going to love you, that is bullshit. That is absolutely bullshit. Because they want you to think that. Because as long as you think that, you're going to be desperate enough to stay with them. And no one wants to be alone. I mean, we were built to have companionship. So it's. I remember when this happened to me, I would wake up and I'm like, I got to remind myself to breathe, because what's going on? I mean, I feel like crap. I think I look like crap. He told me I looked like crap. He told me I was crap. And you're told this enough and you start believing it, and you start losing your confidence, you start losing your self-esteem. That's exactly what they want. They're winning when they make you feel that way, because that's not true. As long as they make you feel worthless, you're going to think this is as good as you're going to get. So you're going to have to put up with this abuse because you're not going to have anyone else. But you know what? Be alone. I mean, John and I were alone for years before we found each other, and a mutual friend introduced us. But I just decided I wanted my freedom. I wanted to breathe again. I wanted to have my own decisions. I wanted to wake up and not be afraid. I wanted to go to sleep and not be afraid. I wanted to enjoy my day without going, oh my God, is he drinking? Is he spending money? Where is he going to wreck the car? I mean, God almighty, your brain can't handle everything that you worry about when you're with these crazy people. It's so much better to just be alone. And then, you know what? You can embrace being alone, because you're like, I can do whatever I freaking want to do. If I want to go take a 9-hour bubble bath, I'm doing it. If I want to sit in front of the TV and eat a whole gallon of ice cream, I'm going to do it. If I just want to get on the, Amazon.com or whatever, everything that they say you can't do and that you looked over your shoulder and worried and panicked about, you can do it. You can do whatever you want. You can just sit in a room, stare at the wall if you want to. It's no longer a prison. It's no longer a jail. They no longer have any say-so over you. And I'm telling you, it might be scary as shit, but the first day you wake up and they're not there, you might go, oh my God, what did I do? But guess what? You're not going to be afraid. You're not going to not be able to breathe. You're going to basically go, I woke up in my own bed, in my own room, in my own walls, and I'm not afraid of what's going to happen, what they're going to do. So it's scary, but that's the little baby steps that you have to take.
Okay, I want to answer this. We're getting kind of close to the top of the hour, but this is so important. And we talked about this on last week's live. My son is the narc, and he took my 3-year-old granddaughter away. He says she forgot about me. Okay, first of all, please DM us on our TikTok channel. Our newsletter from Saturday, this past Saturday, was dealing with son-in-law and daughter-in-law, our sons and daughters are narcissists. Yeah. And so Melissa has several clients that are in the exact same position you are, and she's coaching them through exactly how to do this, because this is an incredibly dicey situation. You have to be very, very, very careful on how you proceed. But there's a way to do it so that when that person realizes that they need their son or daughter needs their grandparents, you will be there. And so please DM us. And Melissa can tell you about whether you probably need to set up a call with her to kind of really let her coach you through this, because it is incredibly dicey. So please, we've got some great resources for that. But she has a lot of experience with helping her clients through this exact same thing. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. It's a horrible situation that these grandkids are being used as pawns in this situation. And usually, I mean, you just have to be really, really careful with how you do it. You can win this. You can get back in the favor and get back in the situation where you are having relationships with your grandkids again. It's possible, but it is a delicate situation.
Well, it is. And as long as the narcissist knows that is the way to hurt you or control you or literally to keep you out of their lives, they'll do it. And so there's a lot of things that you're going to have to make decisions on what's important and what's not. Because it is hard. It's very, very, very hard. And like I told my client, I said, what is your priority? Is your priority to be in your grandkids' life? She's like, yes. I said, okay, then this is what we're going to do. And she's been invited to 2 birthday parties. I mean, they cut her off for months and months and months. No contact with her. They told her she was the narc grandmother. It's really sad. But she's now been invited. She went to the first grandkid's birthday last weekend, and she's going to another one's this weekend. So she got what she wanted. She might have had to deal with, the narc's insanity, but she was able to spend time with her grandkids, and that's what she wanted.
Yep.
So, DM me, please, please, please. We actually did an entire newsletter on narcissistic son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. And I know somebody early on asked about covert and narcissism. We did an entire newsletter and video on that too, because those are sneaky. They're really difficult to catch, whatever, because they're so introvert, and they play the victim a lot. So definitely sign up for those newsletters, because we basically take the topics that we get from our followers and we create a newsletter. So everybody, because we figure if you guys want to know about it, then everybody else probably that's in this situation wants to know about it too. So that's how we get our ideas for our newsletters. So
yeah. Hey, we're at the top of the hour. So just any last questions, please pop them in there real quick. We'll try to get to them. If you haven't yet, please like this live. We'd really, really appreciate it if you go ahead and like it. Really help us out with our algorithms. We're trying to grow this and our awareness. Please visit our link tree on our TikTok channel. Please follow us on TikTok. But we have great resources, a free masterclass. We have an ebook, a Facebook group, newsletters that you can sign up, our great website, all sorts of great resources that were built completely to benefit each and every one of us through this process, on how to recover, how financial abuse, all these different types of things. And please pay attention in just the next a couple of weeks. Our financial series is coming out on TikTok. We're so excited about it. Again, with Melissa at the helm, there's no better person to be getting out of financial abuse than with Melissa. So she's going to be right alongside you with that. So let me just check to see if there's any last questions that we have. I'm so grateful for all of you being here tonight.
Oh, yeah, we love you guys. I mean, we really do. And we love your compliments. And
thanks for all the great compliments on our videos. We love making these for you.
We literally sit at breakfast and read them. So we do read them, and we absolutely appreciate it. You have no idea. I was lucky to get an early retirement from my company 1.5 years ago. And I said, what the hell are we going to do? What are we going to do? I mean, we couldn't really retire. And so we literally kind of went on a vacation together and talked about, what we could do. And the fact that both of us separately had been through such horrific narcissistic abusive relationships and came out better, we were better after than we were before. And then we met. So we're a dynamic team together. But it was one of those things that we were like, you know what? Maybe this is stuff we can share.
Yeah, and hey, I want to say one thing. Someone just popped up and said, "Oh gosh, I just got here. Did I miss it?" Yeah, unfortunately, you did. Let me just tell you real quick our schedule.
But these are recorded.
So these are recorded, and we'll put them on our YouTube.
Days,
and we'll put them on our YouTube channel. So go to our YouTube channel, V2W or Victim to Warrior. Either way, you can find us there. Subscribe, and we put these up there so you can watch it fully on our YouTube channel. But every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to do this. Different topic, but you can come with all your questions. And then Sundays at 3 p.m.
Eastern,
we're also, and that's fully Q&A. That's any questions you have. We're going to be able to help you with that. So please join us at those 2 times. And of course, if you need us for anything, please DM us.
Yep.
We'll try to get to you. Check out our resources, because they're you'll find something that fits in your budget, or because a lot of it's free. I shouldn't have said that, but that works for you.
It's true.
And is there to help you, that you can get support along the way too. So
and you can recover from this, and you can live a life of happiness and freedom. But that's what it takes. It takes getting free in order to enjoy your life without that anchor holding you down and literally drowning you in quicksand. So,
yeah, you won't see the comments. Someone just said, will the comments be on the playback? They are not.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
No, they're not.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you won't see the comments, so don't worry about that.
Yep.
Someone said you guys are incredible.
I don't think anything shows up. So yeah, I think for everyone's safety, nothing personally shows up except our video.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. But we will, I guess, see you guys hopefully Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Take care tonight.
Yeah.
Y'all be safe.
Be safe, please.
And let us help you through this. We're here for you. But most importantly, above all else, safety.
Yeah.
Please be
Yes.
safe. And the law is there if you need them. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
All right, guys, we love you.
Take care, everybody.
We'll see
Have
you
a
on
good
Sunday.
night.
Bye.
Bye.